Yeah, I guess I want to make a couple comments here about, you know, these false leaders and things like that. Like I was talking about Adam versus the man, Kokesh, and all that. Well, first off, there's a lot of things in the United States that are very unique to the United States. First, there is a lot more freedoms. But I know there's a lot of people who are like, to get out of the military, and they're like, they don't like the bullshit. They don't like the cook old dorks, the pussy whip fucking morons. What you want to call them. They don't like all the bullshit rules. They don't like a lot of things. And actually, if you look back, there's been American traditions. You look in California in the '60s and Hell's Angels, right? I mean, really over '40s actually. The '40s probably more like the '40s. And but basically, Bandidos, the same thing happened. I mean, the Mongols, the pagans, right? The warlocks, whatever. I don't know. I'm not into it really, to tell you the truth, but everybody knows about these things. It's, it's an American phenomenon because Americans believe in freedom. So a lot of times these people get back from Vietnam or World War II or Korean War or Iraq, and they just don't like the situation. They just don't want to get into society exactly. So they do their own thing. But I can't imagine somebody like, that says, screw society, screw the bullshit, that they would follow Kokesh. No, they wouldn't follow Kokesh, man. Not in a million years. Kokesh is, man, I don't know. You guys are never going to believe it, but, the thing is, if you really think, if it's like you against the man, you're the bad guy, and the man is the good guy, or whatever, or you're the good guy that's outside the system, basically, if you want to put it that way. There's plenty of stuff out there in the USA. The USA's got everything they offer. There's plenty, the Bandidos, the Mongols, the Hells Angels, everybody. I don't know, whatever, I know they all freaking killing each other and shit like that, and they all think each one's well, I don't even want to get into that, but you know what? If you want to really be independent, stand on your own 2 feet, and you want to be against the man per se, hey, go be a hang around, then be a prospect, and see if you can work your way in. There you go, right? Actually, 99.999% of Kokesh followers would never do that. These are just dorks being led around by the nose. But actually, in the United States, we do have a lot of freedoms. I can tell you some stories, man. But, actually, I want to say one thing. One thing we tried to do, which I thought was cool, and actually it's got, it doesn't even have 200 views on YouTube. It's been out there for, I don't know, maybe a year. And I didn't put it together very professionally, but it's called Shadows of the Elite. That would have been a real stimulus program for the United States. If that money would have happened, that would have been a real stimulus program. Because unlike what Ben Bernanke does when he buys up bad debt or buys up bonds and buys up failed projects and stuff from banks, gets the troubled assets off of banks' balance sheets, this would have actually put money right into the United States because it would have went right to major construction projects in the United States and employed thousands of people. And the ones that stop it all the time were like, is the U.S. government. It's fucked up. I don't want to elaborate too much on this, but there is, a lot of times I look at the situation between the bad guys and the good guys. The bad guys a lot of times are the good guys. But a lot of times the only reason the good guys exist that work for government is because there's bad guys. If you get my drift, they wouldn't have a job. You know what I mean? So it's like, one feeds the other. So I just want to be really sketchy on this, and I was really sketchy on that thing, Shadows of the Elite, but there's stuff out there, man. There's bigger freedom fighters out there. It's these showboat assholes, like, you don't want to get behind them. And I mean, yeah, I guess the biggest biker group nationally and internationally would be the Hells Angels. But I don't know. Do whatever you want. I know in New Jersey, I don't want to say too much, but I knew, like, a long time ago, people were into pagans, which are major, at war with the, this is like decades ago, major at war with the Hells Angels, but, those people are all dead now. All of them. All of them, man. So it's a tough thing to get into if you really want to be totally independent. You want to live on the edge of society. There's something for you. Instead of a stupid march on D.C., right, Putin? Putin says hello, right? This is the cat. He just walked in. Cat's got all the brains, man. You got to use your cat senses, right? He's a good cat, man. I can tell you that right now. I'm glad I got him, man. He's like a little dog dude or some shit,